this is part of the news, but every Starkey, you can spell it as Darki, and then it's double E. Welcome again to Gospel Life News. This is where we bring you guys updates regarding music across the country, and this is the only space all over the world where you can get true and verifiable facts about Afrobeat and obviously the craft makers. I want to say a big thank you to our fans out there for doing what you guys do. We love you guys so much. Thank you for your time, your energy, your consistency. It means a lot to us. We're really grateful. We appreciate it. You didn't have to do it, but you guys do it regardless. And we're saying massive thank you. What was the implore you guys to please put on your notification button so you can be the first person to know whenever we make a video, post, or a content. However, if you have that friend, that brother, sister, or even the enemy of yours that is an Afrobeat lover who support a fave or the other fave or something, this is a good time to share our page with this person. The person will come back and say thank you because we are going to say something or two or three about his or our fave. The news is buzzing. We have Adekunle Good on the news, the Cry Cry Baby. We have and maybe guys off the news. Adekunle Good made the news. We have Ari Song on the news. We have Kizz also on the news. For Ari Song, it's been a long time coming with family disputes and back and forth. But regardless, we're going to bring all of that to you at the time. We also have Fireboy. We have Odumodu Black. We have Charlie Poppy in the news. It's a whole bumper pack, and I advise that you dominate this one for anything. Let's go and see what the news look like. We'll begin with AG Baby Adekunle Gold. He calls himself the Big Fish, Ejanla. We saw Adekunle Good selling out the Wembley OVO Arena with about 12,000 capacity. He did this one, sold it out to the brim. Everywhere was filled up. Adekunle Good has the capacity to do this. Now, recall that last year he had to postpone this same show where, for reasons best known to him and Kizz postponed this show, and Kizz Tiwa Savage all postponed their show at the OVO Arena Wembley, and for this year they are kicking it back again. And for AG Baby, he just sold out this space, and it is amazing to see that even AG Baby can actually pull up stunts like this. Moving on, we saw Adekunle Good himself coming out to say this was the largest intimate show I have ever done yet, and it's been a long time coming. AG has been there like ever since before years of Lil Cash. He has been in the game, and from then till now, he just had this big break in selling out spaces. I don't feel like consistency actually ended up paying for him because he has been doing it year in, year out, and finally he had this big break. Maybe next one he should be attempting to doing the O2 Arena. Moving on, we saw the moment where him and Simi share the same stage together, and amazing one. Now, Adekunle Good is one person who has never ceased to show the world what his wife looked like, always flaunting his wife at every point, getting her gifts, cakes, vehicles. Like, he's just that guy who is a family man. His family are enough for him. His wife, Simi, his daughter, Dija, they are all enough for him. He's that guy that is always putting them out at every point. Call the show any country in this world is going to be there with Simi and Dija, his baby. We saw backstage while they had the prayer session after they sold out the space, and they just giving thanks to God. Adekunle Good could not help but cry. He was tearing up, and then we saw Dija couldn't see her father crying, had to go to meet her father, trying to make him feel good, and all of that moment. But then it's just tears of joy that he finally sold out the space he has dreamt of over and over again. It began with about 700 capacity, and then he was even struggling to sell out that space. Funny how at the time he was struggling to sell out 700 capacity, but today he just sold out with 12,000 iconic OVO Arena in Wembley. And that's a massive one. That's growth, that's consistency, and he couldn't help but tear up at the time. Moving on, we saw while performing, he showed them the other part of the side. We saw where he had to play guitar, and at the point he even had to rap. He had to give them like the funky rap, which led to the Delilah song, and then the rap was on point, was matching. You could tell that the rehearsal session was on point. He rehearsed, and then the whole evidence of rehearsals came forth while performing. And it's just point pictures to show that he really is actually getting his craft right when it comes to performances. We saw him and Simi. Simi actually came out to do our single, our latest single at the time, All I Want Is You, and she performed the song. And Adekunle Good also came out. They did the song together. It was amazing to see both couples doing the song. I kind of feel like Adekunle at this point was just emotional because Simi had to put her life on hold just for him to push on, carry on, and then she was with the kids and with Dija, making sure that she has a good family. And that's just how you just know a good wife. She kept everything on hold, and at this point, she's still struggling to catch her fans back. But regardless, she's not feeling bad about it. She's supportive. She's coming out for it. She was so happy about the whole thing. Her husband is doing good, and Adekunle could just not help but support her in his only two way. So after performing, he said she deserved more than that, and the crowd could not stop but clapping for an amazing rendition from Simi and her husband of the song "All I Want Is You." Moving on, we saw AG Baby call himself Big Fish, and we saw the conversation between him and daughter Dija. And then Dija was asking him, saying, "Are you the big fish?" And then he said, "Yes." And then she said, "That means I'm the small fish." And then, it's just a moment of family bonding. And this, like I said, Adekunle is that guy who is very, very big on family. Moving on, we have Kizz Daniel as the next guy on the news. We saw Kizz coming out to give kudos to Queen Madi, where he said he wants to be here when Queen Madi finally wins a Grammy, and that is real recognizing real. Now, Kizz Daniel is one person who, if you are good, he is one guy who is sure to have your back. And obviously, if you've heard King Madi actually do a song, you will know this lady is very good, very talented, and Kizz Daniel have decided to say that he wants to be around when she finally lands herself the Grammy Awards. Moving on, we saw Kizz Daniel coming out to give us a snippet of his new song, and while doing that, we saw where a lot of person, he did that with a lady, a lot of person came out to say that his wife, his girlfriend, his baby mama, they've settled back and forth. But with the chemistry, you could tell that there was something between this lady and Kizz Daniel. However, the song was amazing, the snippet was nice. We can't wait to see what this one actually looked like. And then we saw where just after people had their thought about this lady, he confirmed all our thoughts by making her and the baby his display picture on Instagram. As we speak, Kizz Daniel DP is this lady, and trust me, Kizz is actually an amazing guy, and the lady, very beautiful lady, and they will actually make perfect couples together. And moving on, we saw Kizz Daniel coming out to speak about his plan for the US. We know that he's set to do the OVO in London, and I'm announcing more spaces over in Europe. But then he also mentioned the fact that he has plans to take over the US. And likes of Burna Boy, Davido, they are actually doing the US as we speak, and they are touring the US up massively. Burna Boy is doing 2 days in the US, 20K capacity, doing 2 days, selling both days out. Davido is getting his stuff fixed up, doing spaces in the US and all of that. They are all making the US their second home. And Kizz Daniel is saying he also want to join that league of guys who are making the US their second home. And moving on, we saw where he came out to announce that the EP, so apparently it's actually an EP, a 4-track EP. They call that one TZA, which means thanks a lot. The Z, thanks at the back of thanks. So thanks, he says down TZA, thanks a lot. And then the EP includes of Suna, Showa, Too Busy to Be Day, and Twetwe. So that's four singles in the EP, and we can't wait to see when that will finally drop. He promised the 11th day of March by 3 p.m. Let's keep fingers crossed that Kizz Daniel finally fulfills his promises. Moving on, we have Ari Song as the next guy on the news. We saw he came out with a new single over the weekend when he called Maria, an amazing single, trust me, amazing one. He has been pushing the song with Catholic sisters, and the amazing one. It looked like one of those, it has the Ave Maria thingy, and he really killed this single at the time. Ari Song is one person who is very good. His pen game is quite cool, quite impressive, and he put all of that into this one he called Maria. Moving on, we saw Ari Song's wife, known as Alexa. She came out with a cryptic post on Saturday where she said, Ari Song, if anything happened to my kids, you will be held responsible, deadbeats. And then she also came out to say, those receipts you think is documented, I have more too. You think it's by blocking me. Let's co-parent in peace. You agreed for just 1 month, and now you say you won't take responsibility anymore. How? You seized my phone, you wiped everything, including all evidence I had. You are still threatening my mom. I've kept quiet enough, not anymore, coming from his wife, Alexa. We saw where the wife spoke to Daddy Freeze in live session, where she came out to say, Ari Song abused her physically, abused her mentally, abused her in all form. She said Ari Song mentioned to her that he married her out of pity, not out of love. And then she came out to say Ari Song has been a serious cheat, and she has cheated infections so many times. And she mentioned the fact that Ari Song told her that he wanted her to be an housewife, not doing anything. She couldn't post on Instagram, she couldn't post on anywhere. She was fulfilling the task that the song gave her, which is to be an housewife. And then she said at the time she's even pregnant, and our song actually care less about how she is. She said our song complains about the fact that she couldn't bear him a male child, and because he wants a male child, that all she does is giving him female children, and he doesn't want female children, which has made him not pay attention to the pregnancy she's having at the time. And people just came out with their comment saying in 2024, how do you still look for male children? It became a back and forth. But this is a case of one side story. We're waiting to see what Ari Song will have to say when it finally comes out to give us full details about his own side of the story. Moving on, we saw, like I said, Mr. Ibu, we lost him over the weekend. We saw just before he passed, we saw where he came out to give kudos to Rude Boy, and I'm talking about Paul of Square, came out to say he would make heaven because of his assistance he made at the time and the back and forth. While Mr. Z was ill, a lot of guys came through. Davido came through. Paul of Square came through. A lot of guys came through. Nigerians came out, gave money, donated funds. At the point we had rumors that the fund went about 150 million naira that was donated for his health, and he was flown abroad, had the surgery, took out his leg, and just when we thought he was doing better, we finally lost him. And then before he died, he came out to give kudos and shout out to Paul of Square, saying he would actually make heaven. And moving on, we saw Odumodu Black was at the airport over the weekend trying to cause an uproar. At the time, we are not sure about what really had happened, but we know that there was an altercation between Odumodu Black and some set of guys at the airport. Moving on, we saw Fireboy Peru at the time has accumulated a combined 500 million stream on Spotify. Massive boy. Now, Fireboy is an underlying guy who you probably wouldn't want to give kudos to, but then his numbers are really amazing. 500 million stream on a song. Trust me, we really must give kudos to this guy. Moving on, we saw Odumodu Black while performing. He even had to pause the show and still talk about the J1 saga, saying they make way for him, nobody made way for him. And people were like, we thought we moved past all of this conversation, but for Odumodu Black, he never ceases to forget as he always come back to the conversation. We saw Chade Poppy have just received his YouTube flag for amassing about 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Bit by bit, this guy is growing and is growing every passing day. Congrats to him for amassing 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Moving on, we saw Shmurda coming out to explain why he smoked smoking, and then he said he stopped smoking about 4 years ago. He said whenever he smokes he feels paranoid, he feels scared about the future, and the thing actually affects his mental health, and which has made him stop smoking about 4 years ago. However, he still smokes cigarettes, but it doesn't take Igbo again anymore. Finally, on the news, we saw Shmurda coming out to give us insights as it concerns Mohbad. And then he said, while Mohbad was alive, him and Mohbad had about 2 unreleased albums at the time. And it just shows how close they were. He said Mohbad's house was close to his house. And he did that because Mohbad at the time needed help, and he was going through a lot of crises. And they got an apartment beside each other. They were that close. They were together at almost every time, which allowed them to make a lot of songs together, so many songs together. And we're sure that he could actually, in coming days, maybe release this song beat by beat. But actually, once again, we've said this over and over again to the family of Mohbad. We hope that they can come to a peaceful resolution so that we can finally bury Mohbad in peace. Mohbad, we pray your soul find peace in the bosom of the Lord. Amen. My name is Daki. We'll catch you guys on the very next one.